some reporter came up to him and said, Randy, what do you think about getting fined? And he said, straight cash, homie. That's what Randy is.
And we're going to start with a former player, a guy that everyone knows, a Hall of Famer out there.
Guy that we played with.
A guy that we play with on New England.
On New England.
About 2 years for you.
2 years for me.
A quarter season for myself, my rookie year.
1 1/4 for me.
But everyone knows who he is. Randy frickin' Moss. Please pull the picture out. Randy Moss was an absolute dominant force on the football field. I didn't want to put him in the category right away.
You can't.
I didn't want to describe the category he was
yet. We're not starting the clock yet either, are we?
But the guy had personality. Everyone loves him to this day. Yeah. He's a great TV.
He's awesome on TV.
TV analyst
awesome
now. Awesome on TV. He's mossing people still to this day.
You got mossed
with his segment.
You got mossed.
And
you know who this is, Rob? You know this shot's from?
No, what's the shot from?
This shot is from when he was leaving the players' parking lot, I believe. I think on a Tuesday after he got fined for mooning Green Bay. Remember he got fined for mooning Green Bay? And this is like right immediately after when some reporter came up to him and said, Randy, what do you think about getting fined? And he said, straight cash, homie. That's what Randy is.
And that quote is still used to this day.
Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie. Whenever I pay anyone in cash, I always say straight cash, homie.
Always.
Every single time. That's going to live on forever.
How many years ago was that? That was a long time ago.
20?
No, it wasn't 20 years
ago. I was in high school, man, when that happened. He was on the Minnesota Vikings, right?
Yeah, he was on the Vikings at that time.
So that was like what? 05?
Maybe 05. I think we need to start this.
20 years ago.
Do we start the clock now? Rob's got a little research that he's done. Now, Rob, how did you get this research?
I just typed in the player's name on Copilot and what type of, football player they are or person they are, and it just popped up. And, you got to work smarter, not harder, Jules.
You got to work smarter.
That's what it's all about.
It is. So let's. What did Copilot say?
And this will also help out my reading skills. See, dudes on dudes, I mean, we're not the smartest dudes, Julian.
No.
But we're also not the biggest idiots. I mean, we have common sense.
Yeah.
And we're here, doing this show as well to help us out in life as well.
I would say we're idiots. Creative. I would say we're idiots. We're not dumb.
Yes. We are idiots in a good way, though. In the best way
we're
possible.
Not like IQ going to knock you off the charts. Yeah. But, we're also not going to spend, all your money. If you have like $2, you're going to spend $50. That's like common sense.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You hit it right on the nose. And our reading skills, I wouldn't say are,
No, my reading skills are terrible. Everyone knows.
There. So this is going to help my reading skills. It's going to help my creativity doing this show as well. And that's why I wanted to do it. I feel like it's going to help us out on Fox, just being able to talk. So we're building muscles.
And we're also going to invest in NVIDIA because we're going to use their AI. Let's go.
So here we go.
Or no.
We got Randy Moss, right? Yeah, Randy Moss. All right.
What is Randy Moss?
Randy Moss was a dynamic and explosive wide receiver known for his exceptional speed, leaping ability, and playmaking skills. His deep threat capability made him a constant challenge for defenders as he could stretch the field and make spectacular catches. Moss was renowned, right?
Yeah,
renowned for his ability to make acrobatic catches and score touchdowns, earning him a reputation as one of the most talented and dangerous receivers in the NFL. Over his career, he was selected to multiple Pro Bowls and was a key figure in the 2007 New England Patriots record-setting offense.
He was. Start the clock.
We got 10 minutes, which each player that we will be talking about.
First off, that's pretty damn good by Copilot.
Yeah, Copilot hit it right on the money.
And Rob, I think you knocked it out the park.
I was a Copilot reading that.
I think you were the actual pilot.
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
you were the actual pilot.
I had no co-pilot. You were there, but you weren't there.
I was co-piloting it by just sitting there.
You were the passenger.
I was a passenger.
Yes, you were.
I was a passenger, but how
was the ride?
It was freaking good. It was freaky.
Yeah,
which was also Randy's nickname.
It was Randy's nickname.
It was the Freak.
Yeah.
Randy went to where did he go? He went to Marshall. There's so many crazy stories about he committed to Florida State. Then he went to Notre Dame. Did you ever hear those?
I never heard any of those stories, but he ended up at Marshall University. Where is Marshall anyways?
West Virginia.
It's in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you know he's from Rand, West Virginia. Like Randy Moss is from Rand, West Virginia.
He used to say that all the time in practice. Hey, Rand, you. Remember he would always say that? Like him and like who else was from there? White Chocolate was from there.
Who's White Chocolate? I eat White Chocolate.
Who's White Chocolate? Jason Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Remember
they were
Jason?
teammates, right?
They were
teammates in high school.
Dude, he always loves to fish too. He that was the one thing you always knew about Moss. In the off season, you were never.
He was like a farm boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loved the outdoors.
You love fishing?
I don't. I was traumatized at a young age. My brother made me hold like 2 catfish when I was like 6 years old, and he told me they could sting you and they had big old tentacles, and it fucking traumatized me. So, not a big fisher. I was like the kid wakeboarding. My brother was like the fisher. You fish?
Nah, I always got seasick every time we took that boat out.
Yeah.
And then like a mile off of shore, I was always throwing up and like really dizzy. So I never became a big fisherman. I mean, I had a pond behind my house growing up, so I'd get like those sunny fish. Like that was cool, but never really a big fisherman. I eat fish though. I like
What's
salmon.
your favorite fish?
Blackened salmon.
Blackened salmon?
Yeah, with some good spices on it.
I like a halibut. Nice light fish.
Yeah. All right, back to Randy.
Back to Randy.
He was what? Hall of Fame? What year was that? He went to the Hall of Fame, Football Hall of Fame, that is.
What was it?
Like 2018. 2018 it was?
We won a Super Bowl. He was a 21st overall pick, and he had there was a lot of like turbulence in his early career, in college and stuff, which I always thought made Randy, misunderstood. He kind of, what would you say when he was in the locker room? Like he was always a very caring dude, but he always had his guard up. But like on the low, he would always give you love. Like for me, when I was a rookie receiver, I used to have to go out and buy all the receivers like lunch whenever we would have away trips. Remember before the travel, the rookie goes and grabs, something from Bar Louie, or you go somewhere, Jimmy John's or something, and you get the order. And Randy would always make me do it. But I was a 7th rounder, so I wasn't paid by any means, and guys would be giving you crazy orders. Randy would always throw me like $300-400. He'd pay for it and make me go get it. So like he was just always quite like, he would kind of get on me in front of people, but then when there was no one around, he'd always love me up and I think he was just putting that on there to make me accountable.
Yeah, for the quarter year I played with Randy, I thought he was a great teammate, man. And like you said, I feel like he was misunderstood in the public eye a little bit. He didn't really care about, the glam and all of that. He just rubbed it off his shoulders like it was nothing, like it was water, man. But he cared about being a good guy, and he never thought he was too big for anyone else. I mean, Randy was the best wide receiver in the game at the time, maybe of all time. And he cared about, being relatable to the young bucks.
He did.
He made me feel very warm and welcome.
What did he do
to the New England Patriots when I was there?
What did he do to make you feel warm and welcome?
So Moss always loved, kicking it back, having a conversation with myself when I was a rookie. I was struggling. I was in the playbook like crazy, struggling a little bit, but he just loved how I played the game. And he always imitated me because I was big, I was goofy, and he liked that kind of stuff,
he loved it.
And every time I had a catch or, had a touchdown, I'd be like myself, I'd be giggling like this. He'd be like, dude, bro, you always giggling. You're always having a good time, Gronk. Like, it's cool as shit, man. Cool as shit how you are, man. And I'd be like, it made me feel warm and welcome to be myself on the Patriots. And I'd be like, I always did that on the field after a catch. I get up, like, I don't know.
Hyped.
That was just me. I was getting hyped. And Moss was like, man, I like how you do this, man. I like that cool shit how you do that. Like, I'm going to do that after I score a touchdown. I was like, for real? He's like, yeah, I'm going to do that. So what happened? Game number 2.
Buffalo.
Versus Buffalo, he scored 40-yarder post right down the middle, like Randy Moss does, because he's the fastest wide receiver I probably ever seen play the game. Freakish, stride. It looked like he was going slow.
He looked like, but he was just always passing people.
And he was just gliding. It was like a jet ski on water, like on flat surface, just gliding across
70.
The water. Yes, and it didn't look like he was going 70.
No.
But he was going 70, maybe 80.
On water, which is fast.
Yes. So we get to the game, he scores that touchdown, and he starts doing this. He's being Gronk in the end zone, and I'm 21 years old, and this is Randy
Moss.
Frickin' Moss. imitating me after one of his touchdowns. I thought it was the coolest thing. I actually never even shared that story with anyone. I'm talking like I never shared that story with a friend, a family member. It's just kind of known within the team, within the team and the organization. So that's one of the coolest stories of all time, about Randy Moss that I have personally. And he just made me feel welcome to the team. And he just made me feel like myself because he just loved how I was and how I played the game. And it was just a special moment, that's for sure.
He fucked with dudes that worked hard.
He did.
I remember on Tuesdays, he would come in and do these workouts where he would do like side step ups, these like step ups, quick feet. And so I would jump in with them every once in a while. And he'd do all these medicine ball things where like he'd have like one leg on a medicine ball and do like a push up and is working your core. And so I would always see him do shit and then I would go do it. I want to do anything Randy did. But like, if he saw you working, he never really busted your balls. That's the kind of guy, but if you were talking and you were a guy that wasn't hurt or something, like any of the Patriot like guys, you're going to hear shit.
You want to also know why I would say Randy was misunderstood a little bit? Because he was real.
Yeah.
And when people are real, people don't like that, man.
Because like real things can sound like assholey.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds assholey. Like if he didn't want your freaking food, he's not going to eat your food. Like he just didn't want it, If he didn't like you, he didn't like you. Like it's just real shit. And then that's what makes people misunderstood.
I still can't fathom that Thanksgiving game that he had. What was the screenshot of his?
Well, he had 3 catches, like 146 yards, was it?
163 yards on 3 catches.
163 yards. Oh, and 3 touchdowns. All his catches were over 50 yards. It was when he was with the Minnesota Vikings. Thanksgiving Day, he ate the turkey after the game as well.
Yeah.
It was just Moss being Moss. Well, Randy was so special that we actually had a play named after him.
Moss.
Yeah, Moss. Hoss Moss, which was
the Moss signal.
That was the signal because it was all goes. It was a go on the left. There was a seam on the left. There was a seam on the right. And every time Brady did that, I got excited because I was always the slack guy going down the field. So Moss, every time I saw that play, I thought of Moss and just felt like I had to turn the burners on as well.
Rob, you had how many? What was your biggest touchdown season?
I had 17 touchdowns in 2012, but 18 because one of them counted as a rush.
18 touchdowns. He had 23 touchdowns. How fucking nuts is that?
Freaking nuts. I don't think anyone's ever going to touch that.
I don't know. With the 18,
I don't think anyone's going to touch it still. No way.
Still? Because guys aren't playing as many games.
Yeah.
Like they don't play the whole season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
not the
year.
reason why. I think just because Moss was just so dominant, 23 touchdowns, because when you have 23 touchdowns, Moss was only one who can get away from double coverage and then run away from it because he was so fast and freaky. Ain't no one ever going to touch that 23 touchdown record. I mean, I was pretty close that one year when I had 17. And then actually, he was at practice, one of my best training camps of all time when we were in West Virginia. Moss came, at that dump
Greenboro.
place. Yeah, Greenboro. It was great for football. Coaches loved it because all you did was focus on football. But we
couldn't go to the casino, though. It was fucking bullshit.
Good thing we would have lost all our money or won a lot more money and then could have retired in training camp. But Moss was there when we were facing the Saints in practice, and I was dominant, man. This was a year I was on fire, unstoppable. It was actually the year we won the Super Bowl versus Atlanta when I was unstoppable. And it was just unfortunate that I got lit up the middle that year, but I had like 4 touchdowns in a row versus the Saints in 7-on-7, and Moss was right there. And I was like, Moss, I'm coming for you, man. That touchdown record is mine. You go, Gronk. You got it, boy. You're the only one, Gronk. You're the only one that can beat my touchdown record, Gronk. You got this, boy. I want to see you do it. I go, Moss, I am going to do it, buddy. I'm going to come in for it. 23, no problem. I mean, it was kind of a realization at that time. I was dreaming big, but it was just so cool to have Moss right there.
Hell yeah.
Talking shit to Randy Moss. I'm going to beat his touchdown record in middle of practice. It was one of the coolest moments I've ever had in practice. Moss, you the man. And the freakiest catch I've ever seen Moss make that I will still remember for the rest of my life.
The Revis?
Is the Revis catch. It was the second game? It was the second game of the season.
That was my first start.
It was. So when he did the imitation of me, it was actually the first game of the season. I think we played. No.
This was that was I don't think you were there yet.
No, I was there. So we played Cincinnati my very first game.
Yeah.
Then we went to the Jets. We lost. Most freakiest catch I've ever seen.
We lost the game.
Yeah, we lost the game. Brady just tossed it up there. He let the play develop. No one was open, so he tossed it up. One-on-one coverage. Moss versus Darrelle Revis, the best cornerback in the game. Moss put his hand up in the air and just snagged it, one-hander, right in the end zone, about 3 yards in. It was freaky because he extended all the way. It wasn't like it was like close to his body. He made that extension.
But it was effortless,
how hard
too.
that is? Effortless.
It looked like he barely did it, though. When he was going, he was just like, ooh.
And then we played the Buffalo Bills the third game, and that's when he did the imitation.
That imitate or the with the fan.
He was imitating me. Of myself.
The third game, yeah.
The Gronk giggles, and then we played the Miami Dolphins, the fourth game of the season, and then after that game,
he wasn't there.
He wasn't there anymore. It was sad.
It was.
You want to know something, Jules? Oh, I remember it, man. I remember it. We were partying, man, when he got traded.
Were we?
It was Monday night. And you know us, we were young bucks, man. We went to Foxwoods, the casino.
Did we?
And we woke up.
Because was it a Monday night game?
It was a Monday.
Was that a Monday night game?
It was a Monday night game.
So did we have a bye week yet?
I think we had a bye week or something because we went to Foxwoods Tuesday night because it was industry night at Foxwoods. And you know us, we're in the industry of partying at that time. We were maniacs. We're just dudes on dudes, man. We're just having good conversation, you know. We're just telling our stories, just living up, you know,
How'd you
what
find
we did
out?
in the past. And I remember we were together, man. And you were pretty hungover. I remember. And then I was hungover too. And we turned on the TV. We didn't know anything what was going on. And we turned on the TV, ESPN, and Randy Moss, there it was, breaking news, traded to the Minnesota Vikings. And literally, we were like heartbroken. We were hungover and heartbroken. It was probably the worst situation you could be in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we always climb out of those holes.
That was.
But I remember.
Talk about the Sunday scaries.
Yeah, that was the Tuesday morning scaries right there.
You wake up, you don't. Oh fuck, we got practice. Randy Moss is gone.
That was one of the examples of my early times in my career that I was starting to learn that the NFL was a business.
Oh, yeah.
Because as a rookie, you don't know that it's a business, you know? You're going to make the team. You think you're playing forever.
You can't trade Randy. No one's trading Randy Moss.
You can't trade Randy Moss. He's the greatest of all time. And it was really cool, though, because he did that press conference, I think, the week before. Like, he wants a new deal. He had his headphones around his neck. He kind of went off, like the Patriots ain't giving me my new contract. And I thought that was really cool because that's the Randy Moss I knew, like going off, just being a real dude.
Yeah,
he was. And I love that shit. I love when players act up, man. And I thought it was the coolest thing. So it was sad to see him go, but it was also sad because that was part of the reason I feel like he went. You know, Bill takes no shit.
He doesn't. But that's when you realize that this is definitely a business.
All right, so some final thoughts. Randy Moss.
So what kind of dude is Randy Moss then?
Yeah, what kind of dude is he? I would say.
So we have a stud at like athleticism, football IQ, the pedigree. We have the freak, unparalleled physical ability, one of one, pretty much a mutant. That sounds pretty close. We have a dog who's relentless, motivated, physical and mental toughness. We got the whiz dude who's intellect, innovative, very clutch. And then we got a dude's dude. Positive attitude, locker room guy, calm, cool, collect, glue guy. He's like a glue guy, dude's dude.
And let me tell you, every dude that we're going to be talking about,
hit all of them.
They hit them all. Their attributes are all five of them. But we're trying to find the one that exemplifies them the most. And with Randy Moss,
it's easy.
I feel like this is a no-brainer. No-brainer. It's already in his nickname.
The freak.
The freak.
I mean, I remember he's just so fast. He could jump. He could catch the ball. The intricacies of the game you would try to coach to guys like late hands and stacking the receiver. Like those are the things that like we would try to coach. He just did it naturally. That's like how he just knew how to judge a ball and high point balls. Like we literally have segments named after him going up and just mossing dudes.
And the way the ability he had to just leap when he was running full speed.
That's crazy.
Is what made him so great, because he can have a defender on him, because defenders were just as fast as him.
Yeah.
Some of them were. Some of the DBs were.
Don't let Randy hear. He'd be like, hey, man, get on the 200 Slate.
All right.
Slate, get on that 200. Remember, he used to challenge Slate all the time,
He did.
200.
But every once in a while, there was a guy that, was kind of covering him. But what did he do? He just leaped right over him like a frog and made the catch. And that's what made him so freaky.
It's so crazy to think, like, when you're running full speed and you got to track a ball, your eyes are bouncing. Like, that's like some of the first things you see, like when from your like off-season training and you jump into start competing against guys. The first thing that you always have to dial in is the bouncy eyes. My eyes would bounce and I'm going like a guy to go full speed and be able to concentrate and then like effortlessly like a ballerina jump off one leg, go back, moss a dude over two. Like that's a freak. He's a freak.
I remember, Jules, like, you used to always brag to me, Moss would do it, so I'm doing it. So, like, right after the games, like when you landed from a away game, he would go right to the weight room to get his workout in.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, Moss is doing it, I'm going to do it, Like, you copied everything he did.
Hey, man.
But I don't blame you, man. He's the greatest of all time.
I would copy him, Tom, anyone who was around. I'm copying Wes. I'm copying. It's a copycat league.
Yeah.
All right.
You loved your dudes.
I love
You
dudes.
loved hanging on your dudes.
Well,
that was one dude you wanted the dude on.
You become a creature of the dudes you hang around.
That's the truth.
You become a dude of the dudes.
That's why I'm podcasting now, because I've been hanging out with you, Jules, and you have your podcast. So I wanted a podcast.
See, now it's just dudes rubbing off on dudes. So we did Randy Moss.
All right, freak of nature.
Freak.
No doubt about it.
He's a freak, dude.